night in November. Snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
They start the drive with Cook, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it's 3rd and 4 now. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Cook following the penalty. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Throwing, Cousins. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
Devon Godshaw getting in there and dropping him.
Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick 6 to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say their plan worked to perfection.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and it's now a 7-0 game.
What's the deal, y'all? Let's ride out. Let's ride out. Hey, let's do this. Let's be slow. Let's go. Play a little aggressive, baby. Let's do it. This is where you step up. Right here, baby. Leave it out here. Leave it all out here. It's showtime, baby. They can't beat us straight up. Let's go. Let's get some love.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Cousins now from the 50. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Lawrence Guy able to get in there and drop him for a loss. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Patriots take over.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 17-yard line.
They run with a 4th-year man. This is Damian Harris.
And he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 22, Jones. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Jones. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throwing Jones. And he wisely will throw that one away.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Completes it to Aguilar.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Stevenson. And out of bounds right around the 20. So offside's the call, and they understandably declined it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Henry.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
If they're going to get a 1st down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going on the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing it up 4th down.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football. Folks' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Let's do it. Let's go. Get it now. Let's go. Let's go. Pay attention. Pay attention. Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on with it, man. Yeah, work. That's what it is. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get some more. Here we go. Let's be smart. Let's play ball. They can't stop us. Let's do this, man. Don't give them up. Anytime that ball comes to me, I'm trying to take it to them.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
And now out comes Minnesota.
Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
To throw, Cousins.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Pats are going to take possession of the football. Now a 1st down carry for Harris.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
2nd and 4.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Folk's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way down to the 29.
65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Nothing fancy there. A little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a 1st down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
On 2nd down, Cook. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11. Sets them up 1st and goal.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones.
And the Patriots are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
To about the 33-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A run with a second-year man. That's Ramondre Stevenson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
On third down, Jones.
He'll get this into the hands of Stevenson. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On first and 10, Jones. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw there complete to Myers.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
New England on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Jones. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21.
83 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. They'll look to throw here on first down. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And right side, Henry's got it. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Only needing 2 yards on second down. And defense, they're blitzing here. Jones.
He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now Jones on 3rd and 2. Over the middle, complete. It's Henry.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw again.
Open man down the field is Henry. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
That goes for a gain of 31. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football.
And the half will begin with a touchback.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Going deep here for Parker. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time.
And this returnable for Rager. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook.
And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And power running here down to the 6-yard line.
94 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Touchdown! T.J. Hawkinson from 6 yards away.
And the Vikings are back within a score.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And it's now 13-7.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. New England trying to get a place on offense. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10
at their own 26. Throwing to start the drive. Jones to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. That's complete into the hands of Myers. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On play action, Cousins. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
That is caught by Thielen. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys right up the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up,
right.
Hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Jones and the Pats now with a 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. It's caught by Aguilar. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner, By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
To throw again on second down. Jones. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll try the right side with Harris. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First down, and they go back to Harris. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Jones now on 3rd down. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Folk's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So 3 points and a response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
Let's go, man. Get on now. Come on, baby. Let's do it. Man, that ain't got nothing. It's showtime, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You make the play. Let's ride out. Let's ride out. Hey, loose. Hey, loose. Come on, let's go. Oh, man. Oh,
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Cousins throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. Here's Cousins. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll run with Cook, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people, to power his way forward.
Let's go. Let's roll. Let's ride, dog.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. New England's offense set to go.
That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Jones.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
On the give, this is Harris.
And he's going to be met at about the 43.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Jones to throw on 3rd down. Complete. It's Henry.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30.
And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Harris running straight ahead.
And some space here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Straight ahead, it's Stevenson.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal.
They run again with Harris. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
Damian Harris. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Pats get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that might just seal the deal here. It makes it a 2-score game with not a lot of time on the clock.
Let's go get it. Let's focus in on what we got to do here.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by 9. Just over a minute 40 to play. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. Cousins.
Pass complete. It's Hockenson.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Now Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Joseph connects on the extra point.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter.
Let's go. Let's go. Showtime, baby. Playmakers step up right now. Let's go.
So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. So now it's the Vikings' turn. Trailing by 2. A little over 40 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Here's Cousins.
Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, I'm no coach, but there's just not time right now for throws that short.
Yeah, sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. As Coach Madden liked to say, sometimes you have to take what you want.
The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Cousins to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Back to throw. That's complete. It's Cook. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.